Hello, it is December 11th, 2019. I'm going to go over my trades on CEI today. So to start out with, from yesterday, it had a bit of a small run yesterday, but so day 2 move, CEI, known turd, so I was obviously going to respect my risk like always, but I had some conviction to short it. So it doesn't show the action prior to 7 a.m. trade 0, but I'll bring on here. So this is the action before 7 a.m. It was up in the 2:30 area, and then right here is the 7 a.m. mark. So it just shows this big red candle. So yeah, I was just shorting like basically the lower high to that, and then when we got here, this is where it came. So shorting the lower high, and I got a short off at 189, and then I covered it. My original cover, the low here on this candle was 170, so I had a 172 cover just because that was kind of, even though it's just 2 minutes here, that was the support that I was kind of thinking of. And we set a higher low, and then I just cut it for 8-cent profit, which is fine. And then that turns out that was a good decision because it would have become break-even trade. Then after here, we break the 204 high, and I attack at 203 after it failed to go any higher. Then cover immediately half at VWAP at 192, and then my second half, I covered break even. And unfortunately, like I just basically almost topped it this bounce. I went to 205. The one thing that I'm happy about this, though, is in previous trades when I'm cutting stuff break even, what I end up doing is I end up like panicking out. So I'm watching the level 2, and then I see 203 flash on all the offer, and then I'm like, oh, cut it, and then I get out. And meanwhile, then it keeps on dropping, and the print actually never went through. So with this one, I actually waited for the print to go through, and it went to 205, and then I just put a cover order in at 203, and I got filled. Kind of bad luck that this happens, but what can I do? The only thing that I maybe don't regret is after we topped out there, I could have re-entered, but hindsight, right? And then after this big candle, it just supported right at this 170 low again. So I decided not to. Wasn't sure if I was just going to keep on continuing. It turns out it would have been a nice scalp there, but whatever. And then I shorted the bounce to VWAP and covered half right on this right around the support level, 175. And then on this minute that I hear, it wicked down to 173, and it same low as this candle here. So then after that, I just thought it's still setting higher lows, and overall it's still uptrending because it was like up 50% of the day. The trend is not broken. So I just said, fuck it, I'm just going to take it off. And turns out we did get my second cover was at 168, higher, a couple pennies higher than this low here, but whatever. And then I go for the trade of shorting the highs here, pre-market highs. Even though there were some highs in, like I just showed you prior to 7 a.m., I really was just playing off these ones just because a lot more volume was traded. So here, get a 207 short and immediately cover for 215. Don't regret anything about that. It blew through the other pre-market highs too, so all in all, that's fine. And then after we get this double top action here, short the bounce at 220 and cover immediately just to 204. Still, the trend was intact. It hadn't broken down. So front side shorts equal front side covers, like Austin says. Then perfect because I avoid all this shit and basically bottom tick that, which is nice, 202. And then the high of this bounce was, I think, like 223. Yeah, so some nice entries there. Then fast forward, ignore all of this action, went to the gym, and then when I came back, I saw this crack here, which is the first time like ever I think I've actually shorted kind of midday. So I added a rule after this that I'm just not even going to bother with the death candle plays if they're not from 1:45 and onward. Reason why it's not 2 p.m. is because I find it's quite often I see that stocks instead, like it's not exactly at 2 p.m. It's like 1:45 or 2:15, something like that. So here I was kind of judging off of a couple things. So I was really thinking that the 170-ish support was probably going to become resistance, which it temporarily did, and also this low right here. So I shorted at 263. Only thing I don't like about this, so this was actually, sorry, I should have said this. So all of these small scalps here, they're on basically full size. This loss here on the first resistance, that was half size, just because my plan was to add if it broke down and went below VWAP. And then this was also on half size, and so is this. So all my pre-market trades were basically on full size, but with super tight risk, obviously. So then here, I was debating putting on another piece of 270. It didn't end up doing it just because I still felt like midday, less odds, and that was fine. So the low here was 243, and obviously that was right at VWAP, so I wasn't expecting like an immediate crack of that. So what I did is I put a 248 cover in, 5 cents above, and unfortunately, it literally went to 249 and missed my cover, and then I got stopped out when I was breaking this high over here. I just want to have a pretty tight risk on it. Like ideally, I would have scaled all the way up to the high of this death candle, but I wasn't. I had some good profits from the morning that I was happy with, and I just wasn't willing to give that up, which is fine. And then I had to go help paint my brother's house, so I missed all this. I was tempted to bring my computer with me and try to trade from there, but I decided that it just wasn't worth me pushing, because a lot of times previously I've had really nice green mornings, and then I just give most of it back from just over trading basically. And then even this, it wasn't a perfect 2 p.m. reverse or anything. I probably would have got caught in this one after it broke those lows. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with my trading. Only thing that I thought about this missed cover here a lot, and I don't even know if I'd change anything, because 5 cents above the previous low is good. The only thing that I thought of, which might try next time, is when 250 is obviously a whole dollar, half dollar, so that obviously naturally almost always has a natural tendency just to support. So maybe in the future I'll just go for like a 252 cover, at least for half, and then save the rest for lower, because then I would have got some profit. And then yeah, so that's it for today. Thanks.